really is forming a part of this very important, very crucial conversation around economic inequality. For most of us in South Africa, we have experienced economic inequality in one way or another. But in the space that I operate in, really, the painful part for me is how it impacts young people from all over the country, with regards to employment, entrepreneurship, and other developmental opportunities that are really fundamental for them to have the dignity to be able to sustain themselves and their families. I have spent quite some time in the youth development stage, curating various programs and developing partnerships with different types of stakeholders, both in the industry, in the NGO, as well as the government departments, to try and bring a solution to this particular ailment that we are having of economic inequality, particularly as it relates to unemployment, as well as the entrepreneurship, gaps that young people are facing, particularly not being able to access markets, not being able to access finance, or have a way of kickstarting their businesses. That's making it very difficult for them, despite perhaps having their graduate degree or their TVET qualification, to participate or to be meaningful participants in the economy. My time spent developing these partnerships and programs had taught me that, in fact, there are many opportunities. There are many role players out there who have the capacity and the willingness to bridge this divide, to bridge this challenge that we have in our country and probably externally as well. I had the fortune of, spending some time with some of the role players in Spain as well as Brazil, who are willing to invest quite heavily, in ensuring that young people from South Africa have economic opportunities, both from the employment perspective as well as entrepreneurship perspective. The challenge is, how do the role players and the young people meet each other? And that is where I come in. I've had the fortune of having many platforms, quite large platforms, where I have access to the young people who need the different types of capacitation, either through scholarships or different employment opportunities, as well as, those who are willing to pitch their businesses for angel investing, as well as different types of grant and development, aid. But on the other hand as well, having built networks with different role players all over the world who are able to bridge this gap with the resources that they have. So this shows that there's still a lot of hope for the young people. There's a lot of hope for us in terms of the developmental space. However, access to information is quite critical, as well as, being able to build trust across the globe to be able to, solve these problems, hold each other's hands and walk the journey together. So one of the beautiful things about being able to be a bridge or to be a connector of those who have challenges to those who have the solutions is that over time you are able to see that indeed most of us are just afraid of being scammed, Some people would be, those who are applying for jobs, they're worried about where they're going. Will they actually be an interview, or is it a way of being human trafficked? And then on the other side, the people are wondering, will it be possible for us to be able to impact these young people, or are we going to experience some sort of harm in our organization in trying to reach out a helping hand? So I think mostly to say my role as the connector is that through the networks that we have built and the connections that we've built, establishing trust within the different industries, we are able to then leverage this connection and be able to impact communities and bring development, throughout the country. And I think that mostly this is a call to action to say, if you're a viewer, are you joining us from anywhere? anywhere in the world, and you have an opportunity that you are of the view that young South Africans can benefit from, or young South Africans can be a drive of change or a major contributor in that particular platform or that particular opportunity. This is a wonderful way for us to meet online through this webinar, through this discussion, to be able to solve the problem of economic inequality together and walk this journey of being the change that each and every one of us would like to see. And I'm really entrusting all of you with the responsibility to be able to reach out and touch somebody today. To be able to reach out and touch somebody today and be able to connect with us through this beautiful platform that has been created by the team at Global Speaker Talk for us to be able to be the change we want to see.
Well, thank you so much, Morongwa. How can we help? How can we encourage people to take advantage of the, I'll call it intermediary services, really, that you provide? In my business here in the United States, I reach out to many different countries, and that trust that you talk about is an issue on both sides. I felt it, and I know that other people have felt it when I've reached out and said, hey, listen, I'm looking for interns. I'm looking for people that I can teach how to use AI, and never quite sure, are they really there? Am I sending money to a black hole? You know, where's it going to, and you know, and so as we talk about the solving the problem of economic inequality, it really is about trust. I think you've identified the really key issue. And so the question that I would have is, how can we work together? How can, if I represent, let's say, 10,000 companies here that I know, that I have contact with, how can we work with you to provide those opportunities for people in your network?
That is so beautiful. And I think that we really should applaud the team at Global Speakers Talk for being able to give us the opportunity to be able to network like this so that we can bring forth the meaningful change. One of the first ways to be able to do that would be to reach out to one of us on any one of our social media platforms, which is on Morongwa Mothiba-Mdletshe, either on Instagram or Facebook, because that is where a lot of the stakeholders are able to engage with us, but also via email. So what you would then do is to indicate what is your human need. What are you trying to achieve? For some of those who are looking to bring or capacitate people by teaching them a skill, we identify the nature of the skill and where likely they are able to be able to get hold of this cohort of participants and be able to, do the registrations, have real unique identification numbers. I think in other countries you call them social security numbers. In South Africa we call them ID numbers, and we'll have a name, a face to your cohort that will be participating in your training initiative. And if it is, a work opportunity, perhaps these thousands of companies are saying, no, we need a cohort of remote workers, and we are able to take them from anywhere in the world, even if it is South Africa. You would then indicate what the talent you require is, what is the minimum entry requirements that you would need, and we would then bridge the gap of being able to bring these young people who have the potential, to express their talents with you, while helping you achieve your organizational goals. And on our side, we'll be able to, manage that conversation between you and a large number of young people, and in so doing, be able to bridge and heal this in a large scale inequality that exists.
Oh, I'd love it. Would love to have a further conversation with you because, Global Speakers Talk is more than just, again, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the broadcast, it's more than, just sharing ideas. It's about, taking action and having a global impact. So what I'd like to offer you is a program for the young people who are looking for jobs where they can get a certification that's recognized by universities around the world for AI and a whole series of technologies that's really, 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 really inexpensive. And we will go out and find a different sponsors potentially if that's required, but work with companies with you so that we can actually engage these youth to give them a skill that they can actually sell on the market anywhere in the world. That's what we're committed to being able to do, and that's what Global Speakers Talk is about. It's about making that impact and taking changes today. So let's stay in touch. and see how we can actually implement those things.
Thank you so much. That sounds so exciting. I mean, I just want to really appreciate you, not only you, JB, but everybody that you're with behind the scenes who's put together this together so that we can be able to have this loud voice and be able to hold hands together in ensuring that we're going to bring this skill and many other opportunities that will be an ongoing initiative. A few years from now, we'll be able to say this 100 or this thousands of young people from South Africa, their lives were truly changed and transformed as a result of our conversation here today. And I'm really grateful for that, because it's not just talk, it's not just the buzzword of economic inequality, but it's about us as human beings behind trying to trying to drive the change, trying to make the impact. And I thank you for that wonderful offer and opportunity. I'm also quite sure that there's someone on this other side who's probably connected and dropping you text right now and saying, look, we have this going on. We look forward to having all those meaningful conversations in the future. It's not just a one-way street where South Africa or young people are coming with an empty bowl saying, can I please have some more? But it's actually faces of people who will be able to benefit through the change that we make, lives that will be able to be transformed, And I myself, I'm quite at peace and at joy when I know that what I've done today, what this conversation has done today, is lead to the change and the meaningful impact in somebody's life.
Exactly. That's we're completely aligned.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. We'll stay in touch, and I strongly encourage all the listeners who are watching us, and whenever you're watching, please take a moment to reach out to us. I'm sure that what we'll do is later we'll put your contact information in the chat. We'll post that and make sure that your platform, your services are broadcast. One of the challenges that I know that I've always faced is there are many well-meaning programs and services that are out there, but there's not enough, I don't want to say publicity, but platforms that they can really be shown on. And that's one of the things that Global Speakers Talk is about. But what we can do is find other connections to help you accomplish your goals as well. So again, Morongwa, thank you very much.